Ciampa early on gets caught with a half and half on the floor, and Fletcher starts targeting the neck, and Danielson explains all the downstream effects of going after someone's neck and how that can lead to concussions. I mean, sounded like a man speaking from experiences. Ciampa runs, misses the knee strike going into the steps, but then recovers and hits the psycho driller onto the steps, which looked like a fun fall here for Kyle Fletcher. One that he'll feel on that flight to Sydney. Then he slides into the ring. Immediately, Ciampa hits a sliding knee, which is the way he has won his previous matches, and this time it's only a near fall. And then we just intensify things. There's an apron bomb to Ciampa. Then, after 2 attempts, Fletcher hits the brainbuster. Ciampa kicks out, and this crowd is pretty amped for this. Ciampa counters a superplex and Germans him off the middle rope, hits the running knee, and again, he kicks out, and this crowd's going wild. He removes the knee pad, runs into a super kick, but then Ciampa lands the knee, another near fall. So Fletcher spits at him, lawn darts Ciampa, and then hits the kick to the back of the neck, but it's Ciampa hitting the brainbuster onto Fletcher, who kicks out and finishes him with a Michinoku driver, and then Fletcher hits the final brainbuster. In 16 minutes, 35 seconds, Fletcher wins the TNT title. This match was incredible. This might be the second best match I've seen this year. It was so incredible.
Certainly in the running for, very early running, but, in the running for best TV match.
Oh, this is easy my TV match of the year, I would say.
Yeah, well, we're only in February. But it should at least be up there by the end of this year.
We're going to remember this match for at least 8 days.
Something like that. This was outstanding, honestly. This was a rather short reign for Tommaso Ciampa, but what he gains is this announcement to the entire wrestling world that he really is as good as we've ever seen him, if not even better, which I have reason to believe. I mean, Kyle Fletcher is certainly the state of the art, when it comes to, if we want to talk generations, the modern generation. And I think Ciampa showed that he was an equal to him at every step in this particular match. So if there are any doubts remaining about his belonging on this roster and of his signing, I feel like if they weren't already quieted by recent performances, this would have totally shut that down because he was outstanding here.
This was a stellar match. Make sure you catch this one if you missed it, because it was awesome, and I'm sure we're going to get a rematch at some point between these two. Renee interviews Fletcher, and he's going home for a hero's welcome, and we get a brief shot of Ciampa just distraught on the floor, just his head in his hands. Great contrast here. He says he'll defend the belt against anyone, and Mark Briscoe comes out to congratulate him, but says we're 3-3, and I'll give you home advantage for Game 7. Kyle says, no, I'm sick of you, but I accept. I was like, okay, that was the quick turnaround. And then he ups the ante, says, this is the final chapter of our story. So you reach for the sky. Well, you can reach for this belt. I was like, oh my God. And they made it a ladder match for Saturday.
I welcome it myself, John. I mean, I know we're all kind of sick of ladder matches by this point, but I feel on that particular card, I think this adds something to it. The fact that this is the 7th one and should be the final one, I think it demands a stipulation of this sort of stature, and I think the match will be quite tremendous, right? So I
want to have Kyle Fletcher around for 10 years. That's my hope that we have here. This show on Saturday, just to say, this is full out pay-per-view quality. I think this card, I'm really stoked to watch this show on Saturday. It looks amazing. These 6 matches, this is absolutely pay-per-view level on Saturday.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is. It's not live. It's taped.
It's on tape delay from.
But it makes you wonder why they didn't actually just promote it as a pay-per-view, because I feel like they even, what time would it air live?
It would be very early Saturday morning.
Okay. Well, I feel like they'd still have plenty of people that would want to purchase it, because I think they're booking it like it's a pay-per-view quality show. So this should be the last Briscoe versus Fletcher match, with what they're telling us, with this being this Game 7. And the timing of it all makes me wonder if this was always going to be the plan, this was always going to be the match, and that potentially Fletcher would have, was Fletcher supposed to beat Briscoe in Grand Slam for it. And this Ciampa thing kind of landed on their lap, and they decided to give Ciampa the short run.
It's possible. Like, even if they knew they were getting Ciampa, like, they might have just come up with this idea. They were obviously building towards Fletcher and Briscoe. Like, that was it. And I think this was a fine way. If this was a pivot, like, Ciampa got a lot out of this. Yeah. Not every title reign needs to be this super long one. It's like, how effective was it? This was a great introduction for Ciampa. And I think this was way better than had he come in and just had a really great match with Mark Briscoe and lost and just been kind of in the shuffle right off the gate. So if this was a pivot, I think they got back on course and everyone benefited from it. And they should have a really big blow-off match on Saturday.
Let's talk about that. What do you see for Ciampa going forward?
I mean, I wouldn't go right back to the rematch, but I think now you have to fit him into something. I really hope this is not the case of, like, now he's just sort of, just lost in the middle. I hope you, like, play off of this loss. Like, you came in and you had, like, one of the shortest TNT title runs, and I think you can do a great story there. Like, I really like that cutaway to Ciampa. Like, you can play off of that. I'd at least have, like, a promo for next week, like, reacting to this. He shouldn't, like, be just forgets about this TNT title. This should be a loss that really, like, it derails him, and it's something significant that he came in and he came in thinking, I'm at this level, and now you've been put in your place by this guy Kyle Fletcher, who is above you now.
Yeah, he's certainly, like, I think, a very hot character right now. I wonder if they would consider turning him heel already, because of just the nature of, like, like, his greatest run in NXT was as a heel, as the Blackheart. And, whatever this Psycho Killer thing is, I feel like is a bit more of a throwback to closer to what that was. Now that he's had this sort of, like, fan-friendly run, is it time to turn on the violence and to turn on the aggression to be more of a heelish character? So I like
the family-friendly Psycho Killer.
Yeah, he did an interview with Renee, actually, talking a lot about, like, he wanted to, like, when he was on the Indies, wanted to pursue Psycho Killer a whole lot more, but then got called into NXT. And, like, if you remember, when he did the whole Blackheart thing, he got injured. And then they did the documentary about him that just made him the most sympathetic guy in the world, because they talked about his, like, his like, the IVF
which was
journey.
Excellent, but you knew you were, like, that was what everyone reacted to. Like, this video is amazing, and I don't blame them for doing it.
Run, essentially.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, there's want for him to, like, want to actually pursue, like, a more serious hard edge heel run, and maybe if now might be the time for it, as early as it may be.
I never thought this guy was going to stay babyface for long in AEW. It's how much you want to continue with this. Like, naturally, you come in, you're going to be received like a babyface, but certainly I feel that's where the direction goes. February on the Post Wrestling Cafe, we continue our review of Season 2 of WWE Unreal, including a big look at Seth Rollins' fake injury, which culminated in his appearance at SummerSlam. We're going to be looking back at Shinya Hashimoto with a special career retrospective on Rewind Away, plus a review of Extreme Rules 2011, as John Cena announces to the WWE audience that Osama bin Laden has been compromised to a permanent end. We'll also take a look at New Beginning in Osaka, TNA No Surrender, and new members can take advantage of a 7-day free trial. Go to postwrestlingcafe.com and jump on board in February.